Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Clonks, and welcome back to another episode of my FC25 Southampton Career Mode series. As always, if you did miss the last episode, head down to the description down below. There is a link to the previous episode, as well as a link to the entire series playlist. So if you missed anything from this series so far, click on that and make sure they are all up to date before we carry on through this one. For those of you who are all up to date, you will know that in the last episode we got into the semi-final of the Carabao Cup by beating Manchester United on penalties after a 1-1 draw. We beat them 4-3 on penalties after Bruno Fernandes missed their first penalty. He literally only got subbed on in the last 5 minutes of that game to take that penalty, and he missed it, which set up United to, well, not do great, and it set up us to get through. So we are in the semi-final of that competition, which we weren't expecting to do so at the beginning of the season, so that is really good. The draw has not been made because other games have yet to be played, so hopefully by the end of today's episode we will find out who we are playing in that semi-final. As for the rest of the episode, then, we played 3 Premier League games in that one. We started off with a good 1-1 draw against Chelsea in a sim game. The sim feature is doing us well this season. We're only really simming against the big teams, but we have yet to lose a single one. In fact, I believe we've drawn every single one, but points a point. As long as we're not losing. In today's episode, I do not anticipate that carrying on. But before we get into that, I'll just round up the rest of last episode. We went on to beat Crystal Palace in that second game 2-1 after a red card for Crystal Palace meant that we managed to score through a quick played set piece. From that free kick, we played it very quickly into Downs, who was in acres of space, and then he fired it in to get us that important 3 points. And then to end the episode, a bit of a negative, we did lose to Nottingham Forest 1-0. However, overall, I am happy with how the episode went, especially considering that we didn't concede as many goals as we did in the previous episode. So in today's episode then, we do start off with a sim game against Arsenal away. Now, this is the game that I'm not too sure on whether we can pick up anything from, but evidence says we can, considering that we've simmed better teams and managed to draw. But I don't know, I just get a feeling that today our luck might run out through that sim feature. But like I said, we shall find out in due course. After that, we have 3 played games then. So we play Fulham, we'll play Leeds, and then we'll enter the January transfer window and we will play West Ham. Now, I have just seen that since I last checked, the cup draw has been made, and it's a very favourable one again. We have drawn against Leicester City. Chelsea, Man City drawn against each other, so that's good for us. Now hopefully we can do a job there and get ourselves into a final. In that final, who knows, those 2 teams are very tough. We have drawn against them both this season in sim feature. I will obviously be playing that, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. We have a semi-final to get through first, but that will not be in today's episode. That will be in next episode. So, like I said, we are going to finish off with that West Ham game today, and then we've got an interesting one in the next one with 2 cup competitions, but we'll get to that when we get to it. As for now, let's head in to have a look at how the league table is looking before we jump into that sim game against Arsenal. Okay, so this is how the league table is looking, and to start today's episode off, after 16 games, we've picked up 17 points, and we sat in 15th. Now, at the beginning of the season, I would have taken that. We have been higher though, so we did drop down the table by 2 positions in the last episode, but it just goes to show how close it is there. The vital thing is though that we are 8 points clear of that relegation zone. However, we do play West Ham today, so they might be able to claw that gap back if we don't beat them, and they did beat us in the previous game, so we shall see what happens. But I'm overall happy with where we are at the moment, because like I have mentioned a lot, our goal this season is just to finish in the league. As long as we don't get relegated, I am happy, and if we can get a trophy on top of that, that'd be an absolutely fantastic season. But again, let's not get ahead of ourselves. There's a lot of games to be played before now and the end of the season, and in those cup competitions as well. So yeah, let's see what happens. And now, before we jump into that Arsenal game, just to remind you guys that if you do enjoy this episode, please remember to leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss anything else from this series on my channel. I have really appreciate the support I have received so far, so please keep that up. And I'm glad you guys are enjoying this series, because I am still enjoying making it for you, and hopefully long may it continue. Okay, so this is our team then. It's our starting lineup. We're going to go full strength for this first game against Arsenal, and hopefully it can... Well, if we can get a point out of this one, then I will be over the moon. But like I said, I don't know, I just have a feeling that this might be one step too far. I don't know why, I just have a feeling Arsenal are going to beat us. But, like I said, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We have the game to play, so who knows? Let's see what happens. So acres of space out there for Kyle Walker-Peters. Into Delap. Delap! Well, what do I know? In the first 10 minutes... Liam Delap gets another goal. He, in the last 2 episodes, hasn't been scoring, but he has started off this episode very well, and we've taken a 1-0 lead in the first 10 minutes against Arsenal. Good start. David, he's got a chance here, and Jonathan David in the 73rd minute equalises. It took him a long time because we went 1-0 up in the 10th minute to get that goal, but they have equalised, and the worrying thing now is that they might get the momentum to get another one. If we can hold on to a draw, though, I will still be happy, considering even though we've been in front for a lot of this game, to pick up another point against a Big Six side in a sim game, again, I'd be very happy. So let's see if we can hold on in this last 10 minutes. 2 minutes to go, then it is still 1-1. Rest added 1 added minute. We've got a free kick late on. If we can just hold on now, it should be it. And it is another point in a sim game. Again, very happy. Bit disappointed considering we were 1-0 up for a lot of the game. But overall, like I said, very happy. A good point to take away from home. And yeah, it'll help us to push up that table now. And hopefully we can continue it with a win next against Fulham, I believe. I can never remember. I think it's Fulham, so let's jump into that next game. Just received this email before we jump into that game from Atlanta. They're not happy with how often Ben Godfrey's playing, and I don't really blame him. I've not really been playing him too much, but I'm also not that bothered if they do recall him. I just brought him in for more of strength in depth, to be honest, but he's not really performed amazingly since when he has played, so again, I'm not panicking. If they take him, then it is what it is, and maybe we look to loan someone else in January. If not, then like I said, I'm not too bothered, because we still have other players. We still got Ben Davis who can fill in that gap, and a few other. We still got Tanganga as well who can come in if I need him to. But like I said, overall, I'm not too fussed about that. So it was Fulham that we are playing next. So in goal they got Majeki, Tete, Bassi, Anderson and Truffer play the back line. They got Sander Berg, Alex Iwobi, Lucas Paqueta, Angelo Stiller and Emil Smith Rowe as the midfield 5, and then up top on his own, Albert Gudmundsson. Our team is pretty much the starting lineup. I brought Tyler Diblin in after a good couple of performances in the last episode, so I'm going to give him a chance in this one, but the rest of the lineup is pretty much the same, with Sugawara coming in as well over Kyle Walker-Peters. Diblin, good pass out to Sinistera, try and find Delap, and it's a good save. It's a good first opportunity for us in the first 5 minutes, and Delap maybe should have scored. He had a free header but couldn't get it past the goalkeeper, and it remains 0-0. Well, here come Fulham now with Gudmundsson takes a strike, and Ramsdale is forced into a save, so up come Fulham on the other end, and they get an opportunity. One chance each. Still 0-0, but it is a corner for Fulham from that resulting save from Ramsdale. They're going to whip it in, but Greaves is going to get it away, and we could have an opportunity to go on the counter-attack with Sinistera. He's got the legs to get around his man. He should get around his... Yep, here we go. Here's an opportunity. Delap is not quite keeping up where I need him to. Doesn't matter, we don't need him, and on the break, Sinistera, I believe, scores his first goal for us. Not been overly impressed with him, to be honest. I don't believe at this current stage we are going to look to sign him permanently. Of course, he's on loan from Bournemouth, but overall he's not been that good, to be honest, and we are still looking to find that man who is going to be the our player for the left-hand side, because last season we couldn't find a player that could play out there. This season we thought maybe Sinisterra could do us a job. He's not really, so in the summer that is the position that we really need to look at and need to decide if Mavididi is the man we want, because that is the man I wanted, but I'm looking at I am keeping an eye on him, and he's not growing as well as I thought he would so far, so he might not be the man we go for. We might want someone a bit better than that. But anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves. That's all that matters at the moment in time, is that we are leading in this one, and hopefully we can continue on and finish this game off and get a vital 3 points. Delap out to Sinisterra. What a cross that is. Oh, of course, in a game where I said what I've been told about Sinisterra, he comes up with a goal and an assist, just how it is. But that assist, what a cross. What a beautiful cross to find Fernandes, who finishes it nicely with his head. And we do take a 2-0 lead in this one. But let's look at this again. What a ball. Absolutely beautiful. No chance for the goalkeeper once Fernandes gets to that. Heads it down into the ground to make sure that it bounces over the goalkeeper, and he can't get anywhere near it. And we are 2-0 up in this one, and what a start it has been. Smith Rowe inside to Stiller, back to Smith Rowe, across to Berger. Fulham playing a couple of passes around now, trying to open up a chance, which they might have done with Goodmanson. He does get a strike away, but it does go wide. I don't know how far wide it went. It looked further. I think it looked further than it was. And yeah, it's never really going in, but it is an opportunity. But it is still 2-0 as we head closer to half time. Sinisterra then. Doherty. Sinisterra is going to carry out his run. We'll get that back to him. We'll lay this back into Liam Delap, and that opened up for him, and he just cannot score. When I'm playing with him in a minute, he hasn't got his shooting boots on. He's obviously scored in today's episode through a sim game, but those chances were going in earlier on in the season. But at the moment, he just cannot find the form that he had at the beginning of the season. It's a good pass into Goodmanson, and Iwobi's got some space out on the right-hand side. Plays it back, and Goodmanson just before half-time forces a good save out of Aaron Ramsdale. Fulham now looking to get that goal back. Want a goal back before half-time. They might still get a chance, and they may still get a chance as the ref has deemed that Doherty has handled the ball. Now, it's been a while actually since we've had a VAR check, but obviously we will have one. We'll have the initial look. Can't really see in that one, so we'll have another look at it. So the corner comes in, and both Doherty and I think Goodmanson go up for the header. Ooh, it's one of those that it's like a game thing in it, because his hand actually ends up going through the head of Goodmanson to handle it. Like his arm is in his neck. So it's one of those that it's like, because if it doesn't go in his neck and he kind of brushes off it and then he handles it, it might still be deemed a penalty because his hands has taken it away from Goodmanson's head. But because it's gone through it, it's just difficult to give. I think it's one of those where I think I'm going to have to overturn it. I think I'd overturn it on the other end as well, only because it does hit Goodmanson's arm as well, so maybe that's kind of the saving grace as well, in that it's like I said, it's just awkward because the arm is inside Goodmanson. So yeah, I think we're going to overturn that, so it is going to still remain as 2-0 as we head into the half-time break. Oh, what a pass that is into... Oh, referee. That's a dangerous tackle. I think that's a red card. I don't think there's any debate on it. If he doesn't get sent off, I'd be very surprised. And he's off. Who is it? It's Angelo Stiller. Loses his head. I don't know what he's doing. It was more than a professional foul. It was just an absolute crazy tackle. Nowhere near the ball. So dangerous. Above the ankle as well. Onto potentially the back of the knee there almost. And it's what's his name? Silva, I can't remember his first name, has got nothing to say about that. He can't be complaining. He's got no complaints, because that is a dangerous tackle, and we are now looking like we might even make it 3. Oh, and we should have. Tyler Diblin puts it over the bar. That should have been game, set and match, but we are the team in control now, and hopefully from that red card, we will go on and win this game from here. Oh, Sinistera. Oh, what a save by Majecki from that chance from Dibbling. We had another opportunity to make it 3-0, and Sinistera really should have made that 3-0. But Fulham are on the ropes now. It's only a matter of time before we get this third goal, surely. Fernandez is onside, cross in. Delap has got another opportunity. He does foul Majecki, and Fulham get away with it for now. Doherty, Fernandez, first time strike, saved. And the goalkeeper keeps Fulham in it. At the moment, we can't get this third goal, but it is all us at the minute. Fulham aren't doing anything going forward, and we are piling on the pressure to get this third goal. Dibbling headers it over the bar. But that third goal, if it doesn't come, I just can't see Fulham scoring 2 in this one. However, it has happened in this series before, so let's not get ahead of ourselves, and hopefully we can get this third goal just to make sure of this game. Fernandez out to Sinistera. Play that back to Fernandez. First time cross. Gonna fall for Dan James. Oh, on the half volley, and Dan James can't make it 3 again. It's all us, like I keep saying, and we've had another opportunity there to make it 3, and it's just gone wide. Last couple of minutes then, still 2-0, and it does look like we are heading towards another 3 points. A very good 3 points. Disappointing that we couldn't get a third goal. The ref has added on 5 added minutes, however, but Fulham just haven't done anything in this game, and considering, for those of you who have been watching every single episode so far, you'll know that last season we did actually lose to Fulham in a cup game, and we got battered. I believe it was something like 4-0. Was it 4-0? I don't know if we scored. It was something like that. Calvin Phillips gets a shot away, goes wide. But yeah, considering that, it was pretty much a similar team that they've got. Our team's obviously improved quite a bit, evidently, because we have dominated this one. Even though they did go down to 10 men quite early on, we were still 2-0 up at that point, and we really should have made it more in this game, to be honest. But it doesn't matter too much as long as we pick up the 3 points. That's all we care about, and that is going to happen now. Can we maybe end it? No, we can't get a chance to get that third. The ref blows the whistle, and we do go and pick up this 3 points against Fulham. Good win, good result. And yeah, let's head into that next game then against Leeds with this momentum and hopefully pick up another 3 points. Okay, so before we head into that Leeds game, there's a couple of contract issues I want to get sorted. So we are going to offer Tyler Dibbling a contract, obviously. We want him to stay, so we will increase his contract. We're not going to increase Alex Mackay. I actually believe he's retiring anyway, so we're not going to be able to do that. We will give a contract to Amu Ameo. We'll send him out on loan in the January window. Hopefully he can go and get maybe some 6 month a loan on 6 months, and then maybe we'll even look to loan him out in the summer as well. Nico Lawrence, again, another youngster. We'll just give him a contract and then see what we decide to do. We might move him on, but we'll offer him a contract. Ross Stewart, we're just going to let his contract run down. Not going to use him. He's not happy, so I don't believe he'd realistically want to sign that contract anyway, so we will let his contract run down. Charlie Taylor, though, I am going to offer a 1-year deal just to keep him here for another season, just to have at the club again, just have a squad player. And then Oniachu, I don't know what to do with Oniachu because I don't really want him, but at the same time I could sell him, but not really allowed to do that, so I don't know if I should realistically offer him that contract and then sell him. It's probably more realistic just to let his contract run out, although we are going to miss out on quite a bit of money there, but I think we're just going to have to take the hit on that one, and he will probably leave us at the end of the season. Okay, so you join me here on Tyler Dibbling's contract negotiation. We're interested to see what he's willing to take. I'm going to offer him rotation, which he is happy with. 4-year contract extension, happy with that. No release clause is fine with me. And he's not asking for too much wages either, which is really good. In fact, actually, I'm just going to straight up accept that because I thought he'd want a bit more than that. So we're happy with that. So Tyler Dibbling has signed his contract. We have gone ahead and done a couple of the other signings. The only one thing I've got left now to do is to offer... I got Bree as well, which I wasn't aware. He's not happy either, though. So James Bree might not be a player we can extend either. I'm gonna negotiate with him and see if we can maybe just put him on a sporadic, which he's happy with actually. So yeah, that's fine. We'll put him on a 2-year deal. He can stay at the club for now, and yeah, you can just have that So yeah, like I said, we've signed him now, and now we've just got Lawrence to do, which I'll just do off camera now. And then next thing you shall see is the Leeds lineup. Leeds team then. So Ilan Meslier in goal, Jaden Bogle, Joe Rodon, Pascal Struch, and Ben Zabani as the back line. Tanaka, Gruev, Nonto, Ramazani, Aronson and Pepe make up the rest of the lineup. Got a couple of options on the bench with Junior Fibo, Sam Greenwood, Yusuf Poulsen now there, Jack Harrison, Woober, Peru still there, Hermani and Ethan Ampadu, and then Carl Dallo as their backup goalkeeper. Our lineup is quite rotated because of fitness issues, so Dacunia comes in on the left, Armstrong getting the start up top, Dan James playing, James Ward-Prowse, Ugochukwu, Calvin Phillips coming in to play potentially his first start against his former side. Ryan Manning, Godfrey, Ben Davis, Kyle Walker-Peters and Aaron Ramsdale make up the rest of the lineup, and hopefully we can go and pick up another 3 points off the back of that game against Fulham. But we shall see, considering our team is quite rotated, and well, this Leeds side has managed to keep themselves in the league from last season, and they've got quite a decent team, so we shall see what happens. Pepe then to Bogle, back to Pepe, inside to Gnonto, across to Ramzani, and it's an early chance for Leeds, and Ramsdale is equal to the strike from Ramzani, but they do get a corner, and that was a good opportunity to make it 1-0. And they still have that opportunity. They whip it in. Tankanka's there, but it goes wide, and it remains 0-0. Ben Sabeni, back to him. Good pass, Ramzani. Pepe, Gonto. Another chance for Leeds. First 50 minutes, all Leeds at the moment. Another opportunity with Ramsdale with another good save. They do get another corner, which we can't get it away, but lucky enough it does end up in Ramsdale's hands. But at the minute, Leeds are the team on top. Ronto inside to Tanaka. Good ball out to Ronto. Keeps it going inside to Aronson, who flicks it to Pepe, and another chance for Leeds in the 36th minute is saved again by Ramsdale. Ramsdale having a good game, but at the minute, overall, we are not. And Leeds are pushing to try and get this opening goal. Another chance here. Ramsdale has had to punch it away, and it's another save. Oh my god, it's going to fall for him. It's a scramble in the box, and eventually we get it away, but not too far, because it's going to come back at us with another strike. Here it comes again with Ramzani, and Ramsdale is there again. Ramsdale is keeping very busy at the minute, and quite rightfully looking a little bit disappointed with his defence, because these shots keep coming at him, and he keeps having to make these world-class saves to keep the score at deadlock. Another chance and headed wide, but like I said, at the minute it's all Leeds and we can't do anything about it. Giving the ball straight to Aronson, and he's managed to find Ramzani, who gets around Kyle Walker-Peters. He's got the legs, brings it back inside, lays it off to Benaini, plays it across to Gruev. Good ball to Pepe, and Ramsdale is there again. He's having the game of his life, but he is not happy with his defence, and you can't blame him. It's another one-on-one opportunity, and he is the guy who comes out on top. Another really good save, but somehow Leeds haven't been able to beat him. He is having the game of his life, and we definitely aren't. It's another opportunity. We get it away. Still going to come straight back at us, away from Davis. That should be the half-time whistle, and is still 0-0 somehow, and Leeds will be disappointed they haven't scored. But Ramsdale, man of the match so far. Corner for Leeds then in the 56th minute. Aronson's coming over for the short pass and does end up with it. Cross comes in, Ronto, and Ramsdale is forced into yet another save. Ramsdale really keeping us in this game. I just don't know how though. Eventually, surely this pressure is going to pay off and Leeds are going to find a way through. Rodon, what a block that is. We can't get the ball away though. Just get that over there. And somehow we have eventually got the ball away. It's going to come back at us though. But it is still 0-0 at the moment. Although a poor touch by Calvin Phillips means Ramzani gets it back to Pepe. And there it is. It was going to happen eventually. Leeds deserve it. They've been the better team by a country mile. And Ramsdale's been keeping them at bay. But he could not keep them at bay for the entire game. And eventually they do break through a good strike from Pepe. A disappointed way to get it, considering that we just lost the ball. It was a poor touch from Calvin Phillips. And it meant that they had an opportunity to take a strike, and Ramsdale isn't saving that one. No chance. And we've got to perform a lot better if we're going to get anything from this game. Good first touch by D'Acunha. If we could get this back out. Oh, it's going to fall for James. He's going to go out the right. Oh, what a touch that is. Can he whip that ball in? He is going to whip it in. It's Armstrong. And out of nothing, we make it 1-1. Armstrong with a goal again. When he's played, he's scored. And it was a good cross by Dan James. It's completely against the run of play, but eventually Leeds score and we go up the other end and we say, hang on a minute, we're still in this game. And what a cross that is. And no chance for Meslier. He gets a touch to it, back across him, but he's got absolutely no chance of stopping that. As soon as the ball comes across, hits him on the elbow and goes in, and Armstrong gets yet another goal. And it's 1-1. Who'd have thought that? Good pass into Pepe. Lays it off to Ramzani. Ward-Prowse with a good tackle though. We can come on the break then with Hutchinson. Gets around Ampadu and he's still going. Armstrong. Back to Hutchinson. Oh, it's a smash and grab. We go up the other end and we make it 2-1. Leeds are absolutely devastated, and they would be. You would be, wouldn't you? They have absolutely dominated this game. They eventually get past Ramsdale, but we go up the other end and score 2 goals. And just like that, we can potentially nick this and take the 3 points, which is absolutely fantastic. Hutchinson comes off the bench, and what a strike that is. To be fair, probably could have been more in the corner, but it doesn't matter. It gets past Merlier, who probably would be a bit disappointed because the ball is quite central. But anyway, it doesn't matter. We are 2-1 up, and we've got 5 minutes now to hold on to 3 points that we very much don't deserve. It's a good pass, though. Are Leeds going to do what we did to them just now and come up the other end and score? No, they are not, because Ramsdale saves again, being absolutely the man of the match in this game. Ramsdale, despite conceding, he did deserve a clean sheet if we're being honest, but just the pressure the Leeds put on us eventually was they were going to score at some point, but at the minute it doesn't mean anything because we are the team that have scored 2 and looking like we are going to win this game. And what a pass that is into Armstrong to maybe finish off the game. Adam Armstrong for his second. It's a save by Meslier. Lays that back to Ward-Prowse into Hutchinson for another chance. It's going to fall to Armstrong and Leeds get it away, but it looks like the time has run out for them, and it has, and we do go and win this game. That's 2 games, 2 wins now in this episode. Well, it's actually 3 games and 2 wins and 1 draw, so we haven't lost again, and we are heading towards that West Ham game now. We did not deserve anything from this game, but I don't care. 3 big points, and we are looking like that. We are going to stay in this division at the moment because we are picking up plenty of points. And I am very happy. Let's continue it now as we head towards that West Ham game. Something else that's just happened. We did speak about the fact that Atalanta weren't happy with the game time that I was giving Ben Godfrey. And they have now recalled him. So he is heading back to Italy. Again, I did say I wasn't too bothered about that. We weren't really using him, so we can't really complain too much. I only brought him in for a bit of defensive cover, and yeah, so he's going back to his parent club. West Ham team then for the final game of this episode. Nick Pope in goal, Wan-Bissaka, Kilman, Agard and Luke Shaw make up the back 4 with Alvarez and Soucek in the 2 CDM roles. Then on the right hand side they got João Bowen, left hand side they got Kudus, and then the 2 up top are Vitinha and Nicholas Fulkrug. Now West Ham are the only team in this season, or in this in the season so far, that I've had to change formation for because they've got players that they're just not using for some reason. They're playing with a very narrow 3-5-2, I think it is, or 5-3-2, sorry. But then they've got the likes of Kudus and Bowen who are just rotting on the bench. So I've changed the formation so that they can fit into that lineup. So they've got the best possible team to face us. And it is a really good team, to be fair. They are in the relegation zone, however. And I feel like that is because they're not using the right formation for their side. So they did beat us in the last time we played them. This is our team then. The only real, obviously there are changes because we did have to rotate in the last game, but the only real player who's come in that doesn't usually start for us is Omari Hutchinson, who plays on that right hand side because he did score that winner in the last game, so we are rewarding him with a start. So let's see what we can do. If we can go and win this, then it'll be a fantastic episode. 3 wins and 1 draw, and that draw being against Arsenal is a fantastic episode. So let's see what we can do, and hopefully we can end up on a positive, which is something we don't do very often because we do tend to lose the final game of the episode quite a lot, so hopefully that doesn't happen this time. But he does give away a corner, so West Ham with a corner in the 15th minute of this game. Souček's going to take a shot to Bowen. Bowen's going to get the ball across to Fulkrug, who takes a strike and just wide. He opened up his body, it was an opportunity, but it's a poor finish really in the end. He probably should have done better from that position, but it does remain 0-0 and West Ham get the first chance of the game. Delap then on the counter will get this into Hutchinson, who does get round his man after he dives in. We'll have to try and whip this back post, looking for Sinisterra, cut that back to Fernandez, blocked and just over the bar. Good opportunity though. It was a really good bit of play to play that off to Fernandez, and we do get a corner out of it, which we will just put it into the box, see if we can get the header away. We do get the header away. Doherty is there, but just wide. And as we head towards the half-hour mark, it is still very even, and this game is in the balance. It could go either way from here. Fulkrug then for West Ham plays a nice pass out to Luke Shaw, who brings it back inside. And the referee's given a penalty. It's a penalty to West Ham. It's disappointing because the ball was there to be won. Downs went in for the tackle, and it's just that Luke Shaw has pulled the ball. Well, he hasn't even pulled the ball back. I don't think that's a penalty. Downs has kicked the ball. The rest, I can't overturn those. I'm only overturning handballs, so it is an opportunity for West Ham to go 1-0 up through a dodgy penalty, and just goes in around Ramsdale. Ramsdale went the right way, but he went a bit too far, and Jarrod Bowen makes it 1-0. It's very disappointing because I don't think that was a penalty at all. Nothing we could do about it now though. 1-0 West Ham. Right, we've got a corner then. We're going to go short this time. We'll lay it off into Sinisterra, who's going to whip this in looking for Hutchinson, who's in acres of space, and Hutchinson takes the strike. I thought that was maybe creeping into the near post then. I was getting ready to celebrate. It was a hell of a shot. In the end it was actually well wide. It looked closer than it was. But it's another opportunity, but we are still losing this game. Souček then into Vitinho, takes a strike, and Ramsdale has had to save it and push it wide. Probably a more simple save than it looked in the end, but another opportunity for West Ham. Hutchinson, oh what a touch that is to get around Luke Shaw. Although Luke Shaw's catching up. Although Hutchinson has gone round him again. He's going to go all the way. We'll put that across. It's going to fall for Delap. Is he going to get a strike away? No. And the ref's given a penalty now to us. However, it's a handball decision, and which means I'm going to have to look at it. I don't think it is a penalty. Do you know what? It might be a penalty only because it hits his hand like twice. He controls it with his hand. I'm going to have obviously a double check on it, and I'm going to obviously be as objective as I possibly can, because even though I do want a penalty because their penalty was dodgy. But this one, it's one of those again where he's gone to chest it. He does chest it, but then he's handballed it. In fact, because he's chested it and then he's lifted his arm up onto the ball, like there, and then it's kind of rolled onto his arm, it probably is a penalty, which we are going to decide it is. It is a penalty, so we are going to get an opportunity from the spot to cancel out their goal from the spot. Liam Delap is going to step up onto it. We're going to go left. And Pope does go left, but he can't save that because it's one hell of a penalty. And Liam Delap equalises just before half-time. And it does look like we are heading into that half-time 1-1 with one penalty each. Fulkrug, Vitinha gets a strike away, and Ramsdale has had to parry the ball away. It was an opportunity there. It was a good strike from Vitinha, but Ramsdale was equal to it in the end. And here we come on the break with Sinisterra. Good first touch back. Good touch back inside. He's still going. We'll leave that back to Delap, and he can't finish it. Struggling from open play at the minute, Delap, to get some goals. He probably should have scored there, or at least done better. But it was an easy save again for not Ramsdale, Nick Pope. And here come West Ham up the other end, although we've won the ball back, and it does remain 1-1. It's a good ball to Hutchinson from Delap. He's got a lot to do here. Ball across. Delap is there again, and he can't finish again. Pope saves it. Hutchinson, though, I've got to say, has had a really good game. Here we come again, though, with James Ward-Prowse. Hutchinson. Delap. Oh, good touch. He's got to score here. And he does. Liam Delap finally scores a goal from open play. A played game from open play, because he did score at the beginning of the episode in the sim game. And we do get that goal. And Liam Delap gets a brace. One from the spot, one from open play. Good finish. Good first touch. It was a nice pass to him from Hutchinson, who I did mention just now was at a fantastic game. And another assist for him. Lays it off to Liam Delap, who then, like I said, good first touch again around the defence, and then a nice finish across the goalkeeper. No chance for Nick Pope, and we are heading towards yet another win if we can hold on. Simone, it's 2 minutes then, and here come West Ham down the left hand side with Simone. Gets the cross in. That should be a Fulkrug. Oh my god. We do win, but I thought that was heading to the top corner. I didn't think Fulkrug was getting there, and when he did get there, I was like, oh, for God's sake. I thought that header was travelling into that top corner, but lucky enough, it does go wide, and we do finish off the episode with a win. And what an episode it has been. What a good couple of games we've had, to go and draw against Arsenal, then to beat Fulham, Leeds, which we didn't deserve to win that one, but we did find a way to win it, just as we did against West Ham. We found a way. Delap with a brace, back into goal scoring form. Hopefully he can take that into the next few games now and continue where he left off at the beginning of the season. Let's go see what that has done to the Premier League table before we end the episode. So, after a really good episode, we have climbed back up the table, and we are now sat in 11th place after 20 games with 27 points, only 5 points off European competition, which is just ridiculous considering that we've just come up. If we can end up in a European spot, then that's going to be crazy. That's going to bring us a lot of potential prize money and just potential pull to bring in really good players next season. However, I'm not anticipating doing that. I'm not anticipating finishing those positions. Like I said, my goal was just to stay in this league. There is still plenty of games to go, so we shall see what happens, but we are in a good place at the moment. The rest of the Premier League table looks like that then, so Man City and Liverpool are the two teams that are fighting for that Premier League title, with them both being on 43 points, although Chelsea being on 36 and Brighton, again, not too far behind, but you'd expect either Man City or Liverpool probably to push on and go and win that league title. As then you look at the other end of the table, we've got Wolves, Brentford and Everton, who are the teams who are struggling at the minute, with Hull just about pulling themselves out of their relegation zone and surviving at the minute, but again, plenty of games to go, so that could all change towards the end of the season. But we are now over, 10? We are 15 points now clear of that relegation zone, so we have played one game more, but to be 15 points clear of the relegation zone, it's absolutely fantastic, and I am very happy with that. If we get pulled back into that, then that would have to be an absolute colossal demolition job on our end, but anything's possible. Like I said, plenty of games to go, but like I keep saying, happy where we are. Long may it continue. Okay then, so as we have now headed into the January transfer window, in the next episode we have got the first leg of our Carabao Cup semi-final against Leicester, which we are of course going to play because that is a real opportunity for us to get to a final. So if we can start off with a good result away from home, then we are in a really good position to get to that final. We then have a FA Cup game against Ipswich, which we are going to sim. I was going to prioritise the FA Cup this season. I was going to try and win it, but as we have got to a semi-final of the Carabao Cup and we still want to focus on the league to finish as high as we possibly can, we're going to sim that because we don't want so many games. Like I said, if we get through, we get through, but if we don't, it's not too much of an issue, so we will sim that one. We will then play that Leicester game in the league as well, so we'll play Leicester twice, and then depending on how much business gets done, we will probably, I think we'll sim the Newcastle game and then play the Everton game. But again, it does depend if there's not many, because I'm not planning on doing too much myself. If anything, the position that I'm probably going to look at is the right back position. Maybe we'll try and sign someone, but that is only if we manage to sell someone. So I am looking to offload Sugawara if we get any offer. I'm not going to actively get rid of him though, because I'm not too fussed on if we don't do it in the January transfer window. In the summer, it's definitely something we will look at if we don't get it done now. However, if we do get any offers for Sugawara, then we will be open to letting him move on, and then we will have a look at replacing him with a better right back to be the starter. Then Kyle Walker-Peters can be our rotation. So depending on what happens, like I said, we will either end up simming that Newcastle game and playing the Everton game, or it might be that we end up just simming that Newcastle game, and then in the next episode after that is where we will have that Everton game. But we shall see what happens. If nothing happens at all, then we might even look to end up simming that United game as well in the next episode, just to finish off the January transfer window. But again, we shall see what happens. But that's where we shall wrap up this episode then. It has been a really good one. If you guys have enjoyed, please remember to leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss anything else from this series on my channel. And like I just mentioned, absolutely fantastic episode, really happy with it. Long may it continue, and hopefully in the next one we can get ourselves one leg into that final against Leicester. As you can probably see, that there are two offers, but I won't look at them yet. We'll look at them at the beginning of the next episode to see what and who they are from and who they are for. I shall see you in that next episode. I've been Clonks. Take care.